talking, talking, thinking, thinking. Action for mid-sentence picks up drink. With the most votes are for Ozpin as Meliodas and Elizabeth as Salem. So Meliodas equals Ozma Ozpin. Elizabeth equals Salem. Hawk equals Sway. Gilthunder equals Diane equals Nora. King equals Jawn. Ban equals Crow. Elaine equals Summer. Sorry if you guys don't like this, but I don't want Winter and Crow ship here. Crow 38-ish and Winter around 21. It just feels weird with an age difference that big. I mean, that's my total age. But if you really want Winter as Elaine, you can complain, and if there is a lot, I will change it. Merlin equals Glinda. Gauther doll version equals Penny. Escanor equals Tyang or someone else if you guys want. Helbram equals Ren. Jericho equals, if you guys are fine with Summer being Elaine, Jericho will be Winter. Veronica equals don't know, don't think she will be anyone. Dreyfus equals Ironwood. Hendrickson equals Clover. Hauser equals attempted to put Emerald here. Zeldris equals Raven. Derriere equals Yang. Monspeet can be Blake. Greyrord equals Watts. Maluscula equals Cinder. Droll equals Professor Port. Gloxinia equals Doctor. I'm scared if I say Professor. He has a gun to my head, SOS Oobleck. So that is it for now. If you guys have any idea, please tell me. By the way guys, I'm gonna pick some things from Celtic Phoenix rewrites for this fic. Is gonna make it easier for me to write about some things. And he makes great rewrites about aura semblances and that kind of thing. Enjoy my chapter. Before the screen goes on, it froze and the GOC appears. GOC. Okay, before we continue watching this, I have some news. All of them are listening with attention now. GOC. First of all, new people shall be joining us tomorrow who I have missed today. Ozpin. Okay. GOC. The first one who shall be joining us is Raven Branwen. Yang. What? Tyang. Oh god. Crow takes a sip from his flask. Damn it. Glinda. Why would she be joining us? GOC. She is the current Spring Maiden, so she needs to be here. There will also be the criminals known as Roman Torchwick and his trusty sidekick Neapolitan. Ironwood. No, he is Atlas custody right now. GOC. You think that would stop me? Ironwood. Fair enough. Emerald. Why him, he is so annoying. Mercury. Neo isn't, she is fun. GOC. And Penny Pelendina. Rwby. Yay, Penny is coming. Ironwood and Winter look worried that the Penny project will be revealed. GOC. There is another news for you, Salem. Salem. What is it? GOC. Your body will be like it used to be tomorrow morning. Your soul will take some time longer than that. It will take around 5 days. I recommend not to awaken your aura yet, but if you must. The restoration of your soul shall take 10 days instead of 5. If you want new clothes, you can imagine what you want and they will appear tomorrow too. Salem. Thank you for the news. Ozpin froze thinking of the past. Ozpin. May I ask something, GOC? GOC. Sure, what is it, Ozpin? Ozpin. Why are you doing this? GOC. I have already told you to restore damage, and that will take time, so in the meanwhile you guys will sit here and watch what I show you. Ozpin. I know that, but why do this instead of just freezing us in time? GOC sighs. The damage the brothers have done goes more than just physical damage. There is a lot to fix that includes people like you, Ozma. And I would like to tell you something that I have kept from you. Ozpin. What is that? GOC. This is not a different universe but a parallel one. That means that some people you shall see have the same soul of people here and people that are still in remnant. Tyang. You can't be serious. GOC. As an apology, I will name which souls from the people here who have already appeared. The first one would be Hawk. Hawk has the same soul as Sway. Rwby with stare eyes. Hawk is Sway. The greatest thing I ever heard. Yang. Doggy became piggy huh. Taeyang. Please don't tell me he thinks like Hawk. GOC. The next one is Meliodas. He has the same soul as Ozma. Salem. It seems he didn't get less perverted than you Ozma. Ozpin. Please don't talk about it. Salem. Do you remember when you... Ozpin. Stop. Mercury smirking. Please go on. Salem. If someone wants to listen to it I will gladly talk about it. Ozpin has horrified face looks at Salem. Don't do it. Salem smirking. What's the magic word tilde tilde? Ozpin gritting his teeth. Please. Salem. I'll think about it. GOC laughing a bit inside. Elizabeth has the same soul as Salem. Cinder yells. She has what? GOC very calmy. The same soul as Salem. What's? That doesn't sound right. They are nothing alike. Hazel, Mercury, and Emerald are just too shocked to talk. GOC. If someone has the same soul doesn't mean they are like each other. The soul has certain aspects of the personality, but it shows differently by how you grew up. Ozpin. That makes sense and I see some of the younger Salem inside Elizabeth. GOC. Before we go on, I will have the advice for the younger audience that grab something to throw up in. Some things shown aren't for the faint of heart. Rwby little scared by that. It can't be that bad. GOC. It's just advice, do what you want with it. We see an arm impaled with swords and spears slowly seeing more of the arm. Blood still dripping from his hand. Night 1. Grandmaster Zaratras. This is horrible. Night 2 sadly, how could his happen to the leader of the Holy Knights? Crow already taking a sip from his flask, I have a bad feeling about this. Kid Gilthunder, father. Night 2. Lord Gilthunder. Night 1. Please young master. You mustn't look. Kid Gilthunder with tears in his eyes yells, who did this? Who killed my father? Taeyang saying sadly, a kid shouldn't see that. Crow thinking of the reflection of Gilthunder's eyes and seeing his father's body, and what he saw looked horrible. Ironwood, so that was the former leader of the Holy Knights huh? We see adult Gilthunder in the village of Varnia in thought. Ozpin sighing, and that is his motivation. Crow. You don't think Meliodas did it? Ozpin. From what we gather from this it is most likely a Sin who did this or they were framed for this. Night 3. So it seems he left the village and made his way southwest. Gilthunder. Is that so? The forest of White Dreams lies in that direction. Night 3. Yes, but sir that place is. Sir Gilthunder. Before the knight even finished his sentence Gilthunder was already on his way to the forest of White Dreams. Gilthunder. Meliodas. Ozpin. At least he believes it's one of them. We see the 3 knights riding towards the forest of White Dreams. And slowly we see a raven looking over them. We cut to see an ominous forest with dead trees and mist where you can't even see what's in front of you. Hawk. Hey, Meliodas, are you sure about this? We've been out here for 3 hours. There is no sign here there are any animals here, much less any humans either. Elizabeth. You're right, Hawk. Elizabeth looks back and asks Meliodas, Sir, Meliodas, do you really think we would be able to find one of the 7 deadly sins here? Meliodas with a blank face, probably. Winter little annoyed, what do you mean probably? You must have some type of evidence, right? Hawk mad, you mean we came here without any solid evidence? I heard there is a terrifying monster who lurks here watching and waiting. Elizabeth screams in surprise and Hawk yells, what is it? Elizabeth, I can feel something grabbing me from behind. We see Meliodas is the one who does it and he says, hey, relax, just me. Elizabeth relieved, oh good, what a relief. Cinder, how is that supposed to be Salem? Salem Ozpin, she was such an idiot back then. Hawk, you're such a creeper. Meliodas, putting that aside for just a minute. Hawk. Good. I thought you would never stop. Meliodas looks around. I might have a little evidence. Traveling through the forest of white dreams on horseback is more difficult than you think. It's so hard to get your bearings that experienced travelers go around it. Crow. Good enough for me. Yang. That's all you need to check a place out. Crow. With a gut feeling, yes then it is. Elizabeth happy. This would be the perfect place for someone to hide out. Hold on. Elizabeth goes on to feel her behind with her hands and gropes it. Elizabeth. Something doesn't feel right. They're gone. I don't understand. Salem. Please, you can't be serious. Hawk. You okay? Elizabeth. Sure, just fine. They seemed satisfied with the answer and continue to walk ahead. Elizabeth. This can't be happening. All right, just think it through calmly, Elizabeth. I know I had them on this morning. Did I leave them in the bathroom? No, of course not. I never forget them in there. They're really gone. Ospen. To think I would see that side of her again. She is probably going insane. Salem with a face that shows no emotion. Ah. Team Rwby trying to hold in their laughter but failing a little. Team JNPR, you have got to be kidding me. Hawk. Now come on slowpokes, pick up the pace would ya. Elizabeth. See coming. We see Meliodas' face and Elizabeth behind him in complete distress. Meliodas. Hey, hold your bacon. Nobody likes to travel with a nervous piggy. Wow. Hawk X10, what do you mean calling me a nervous piggy? Huh. Crow. Oh no, this is worse by far than a normal monster. Rwby. How is that, Uncle Crow? Crow sighing, you can't force your way out of this. Hawk 1. It's here and they're all me. Hawk 2. Oh no, what's going on? Elizabeth. This is the monster of the forest. Meliodas. I for one find it terrifying. Ospen. It is terrifying. Yang. I don't see how this is terrifying. Just some pigs to beat. Ospen. And beat your own friend. Multiple hawks are running to Meliodas. Hawk 1. Look, Meliodas, you gotta help me out here, I'm the real one. Hawk 3. Whatever you faker. Hawk 4. Zip it, Porgy. We see Meliodas thinking, and then jumping right through the hawks, knocking them all away. Hawk 5. He's not nice. Yang. Well, you did it. Ospen. It seems so, and it didn't work. Elizabeth. Hawk. Just as Elizabeth says his name, all hawks jump right at her, cryingly saying, Elizabeth, help. Even my mom would never hit me like that. Elizabeth. Hawk. We see a shadow figure of Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Who's there? Salem. Don't you dare. Hawk. I'm so confused. Elizabeth, they're all me. We see multiple Elizabeths saying sweetly, Hi, Sir Meliodas. Dawn. Oh no. Elizabeth 1. It's me, you realize that, right? Elizabeth 2. No, I'm the real one. Elizabeth. You won't trust them, it's really me. We hear a lot of Elizabeth bickering about who's the real one, with Hawk and Meliodas looking at them. Meliodas. Wow, what a bevy of boobies. Ironwood eye twitching. This was the man who we were following to stop Salem. Hawk. This is not the time, man. An evil voice suddenly says, Leave this place. Leave. Get out of the forest, human. Dawn. Well, that isn't ominous at all. We see some Elizabeths destroying trees and saying, Sir Meliodas. Meliodas. I really can't tell the one from the other. Blake. Why are you so calm right now? We see 12 Elizabeths, yes I counted them, jumping at Meliodas while saying, Sir Meliodas. Meliodas jumped to a higher position to look over all the Elizabeths. Meliodas. Oh my goodness. However, can I tell which of you is the real one? Vice. Yes, you should find out, like right now please. Elizabeth 6. That's me. Elizabeth 7. You can trust me, I'll do whatever you want. Meliodas smiling, yes, starting from now, I want you to do exactly what I tell you to do. Salem, are you poor girl? We see 13 Elizabeths looking surprised. Meliodas, what do we say? Elizabeth, oh, of course. Meliodas is sitting down and says, okay, right hand up, left one on your cheek, now call out my name and be naughty. We see 9 Elizabeths follow these commands with each little differences. Elizabeth, Sir Meliodas high tilde tilde. Vice, this man is just taking advantage of it. Crow, I wouldn't say that precisely. He is doing something else too. Yang, what then? There is nothing he can get from this. Crow, he already got enough from this. Meliodas, now squeeze your boobs. We see different Elizabeths doing it and moaning with it. Meliodas, this is amazing. Rwby, this guy is just a pervert. Crow, won't deny that. Hawk, could you just find the real one? The evil voice again, get out. Leave now, you will never make it out of this forest. Taiyang, we already heard you the first time. Meliodas is sitting thinking and after that says, I got it. One last thing. Jump as high as you can. Crow smirking, that is it. We see all Elizabeths jump but one who sits down. Elizabeth, I'm sorry, I can't do that. All the others are looking at her in surprise after that Meliodas attacks each one, and they puff out in smoke. Out of them come hide and seekers. Vice, what but how? Crow, simple, he noticed something and stole her panties for this later. Rwby, he did what now? Crow smirking, keep on long looking. Hawk, look at that. They're just hide and seeks, pranksters imps. We thought they were the monster of the forest. The seeks, yes, that is what I'm calling them, meanwhile we're running away from them. Meliodas, after them. Oh yeah, you might need these. Meliodas hands Elizabeth her panties back. Meliodas, later. Elizabeth embarrassed, you stole my underwear. Rwby disappointed, you were right. Crow, he is a pervert, but a capable one. Vice, don't know if I like that. Meliodas, keep a sharp eye on 'em guys. There is properly something they're headed for in that direction. Elizabeth, wait, look, it's a girl. Hawk, oh no way. You don't think they're planning to attack her, do you? Elizabeth, a defend-less little girl like that. Hawk, I know, right, she is just a little girl. Elizabeth, maybe not. Seeker 1, Lady Diane. Blake, no way, she is human. GOC, indeed she is not human, she is of the giant race or known in his universe giant clan. Blake, are there more races than just humans and giants? GOC, well, most will be explained later on, but there are 5 main races known as the human race, giants, the fairy race, the goddess race, and the demon race. There are also some minor races like the vampires and the beast people. Blake, beast people. GOC, yes, there are the closest to the faunus in this universe. More I won't tell you, just watch, you will find out more later on. Blake interested, okay. Ironwood, Winter, can you make a page for each race for identifying them later on? Winter, yes sir. Seeker 2 to 3, Lady Diane. Hawk, oh wow, she is big. Seeker 2, Lady Diane. We accidentally allowed a holy knight trespasser to go in. Seeker 3, Lady Diane. Damn, they're the second coming of Elizabeth. Yang, damn, how big is she anyway? GOC, 9.15 meters tall. Yang whistle, that is tall. We see her eyes suddenly open. She puts her hand on the ground, shattering it in pieces. Elizabeth, wait a minute. Is she the same giant who? We see a 9 meters tall giant standing over them, looking pretty angry at them for disturbing her sleep. Diane, some holy knights got in her. What's? It seems we will see a fight between sins, most interesting. Hawk, She's huge. Elizabeth. No. We're not holy knights, we came here. But before she could finish, Diane grabbed Meliodas from the ground. Hawk and Elizabeth couldn't even see what happened and are confused about where he went. Elizabeth. He's gone. Hawk. Look up there. We see Diane and Meliodas looking at each other right in the eye. Dawn. Just tell her that Hezjz Meliodas for Ohm's sake. Diane in a deep voice. You're in trouble, holy knight. Hawk. Hold on. You're not gonna eat him, are you? This grabs Diane's attention and looks at them. Elizabeth. You let go of Sir Meliodas. Diane surprised, still in a deep voice. Huh, Sir Meliodas. Meliodas. Yo Diane, what's been like 10 years? What's? That's disappointing, it seems no fight will happen. Cinder sarcastically. Doctor, do you find it entertaining to see allies fight each other? What's? That's more your stick. Besides, I would like to see the limits of the sins, and a fight between the two of them is the perfect way to see that. Diane looked at him even closer for a few seconds. She looks very seriously, but suddenly she is very excited. Diane in her normal voice, Captain, 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 I've missed you so much. Dawn laughing, that's such a Nora thing to do. Nora tilts her head, what do you mean by that? Pyrrha, never change Nora, never change. Elizabeth. Captain. Hawk. Hang on, a giant chick with pigtails is one of the 7 deadly sins. Diane. The serpent sin of envy. Crow. She is the sin of envy, huh? Oh no, she is the sin of envy. Rwby. What do you mean by that? Crow sighs. Just keep on watching. Diane notices Hawk and Elizabeth and smiles. Oh Captain, you've thought of everything, haven't you? You remember how much I loved roasted pig. Hawk yells, hey, wait, don't eat me, lady. Hawk, that's hot. Rwby and Nora, no. Hawk. Ospen, well it seems Hawk found himself in quite a predicament. Diane still smiling, how can I eat you without cooking you first? Hawk, that's not what I meant. Now get me off this will ya, I can already feel my fub roasting. Meliodas. Well, something is starting to smell pretty good. Hawk. Hey, don't act like you can't see me down here. Do something, will ya? Diane is now sad. All right, fine, but who's this girl? Crow. It's beginning. Elizabeth smiling. A pleasure to meet you, Lady Diane. My name's Elizabeth, and I asked Sir Meliodas if I'm allowed to travel with him. While she was introducing herself, Diane was looking and checking what she was wearing. Diane still smiling, so it's just the two of you then? Meliodas. Plus the talking pig. Diane smiling scarily. Oh, is that so? Meliodas. Yup, and we a. But before he could finish, Diane throws him to the ground full force yelling, you filthy womanizer. Rwby. Why did she do that? Crow. She is the sin of envy, that should explain it. Rwby realizing, oh. Meliodas sighs when climbs out of the hole that was created when she threw him. Meliodas. K. Elizabeth. Sir Meliodas. We see Diane falling to her knees crying saying, after all this I've finally been with the man I love, but now he's with another woman. You've just broken my heart in a million pieces. Yang. That's a little dramatic. Dawn. Yeah, she is jumping to conclusions. Meliodas meanwhile is walking calmly to her now. Diane slightly calmed down, but still, if you have an explanation I'm ready to listen. A tear was coming off her face while she was saying that. Rwby. Is she crying? Ospen. It seems so, Miss Rose. Meliodas. Honestly, there's not a. Being interrupted again by Diane punching him a lot while yelling, I don't wanna hear your excuses. You're nothing but a lying perverted belligerent, don't know how to write it, sorry, angry yelling noises. Winter. Don't tell me they're all gonna be like that. Crow. Ice Queen their sins. They are properly going to have very colorful personalities. Winter sighs. Elizabeth. You think he's okay? Hawk. Wow, she's nuts. Diane prepares her final attack while still yelling, "You're a big jerk. You hear me?" We switch to a position in the sky and see a gigantic dust cloud appear where they are. Blake. She is a lot stronger than Yang. Yang confidently says, "If I get hit enough I can take her." Rwby. No Yang, you can't. Yang shocked. Rwby, you don't believe in your big sister anymore. Taeyang. All right girls, that's enough. Plus Yang, you can't win against her as long as you can't win against me. Yang annoyed. And why is that? Taeyang looking stern. Just like me, she has more experience than you, and she is stronger than me. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. With her strength she can do a lot of damage against me. We go back to the sins and see a crater. Meliodas with a few bumps on his head, so to finally put an end to all the corruption and stop the Holy Knights from rampaging. Elizabeth's trying to get the 7 deadly sins together. Vice. He seems very patient with Diane. Winter. Properly isn't the first time this happened or the last time. Diane. I didn't know about that. Yes, I'm always someone who jumps to conclusions, aren't I? Forgive me, and I'm sorry I tried to eat you, piggy. Hawk. You think that makes it all right? You've stuffed my belly full of fruits and burnt my backside. Diane frowns. Rwby. Hawk, you idiot. Don't make the 9-meter-tall lady mad. Hawk is scared shitless and says, hold on, if you even think about laying a hand on me, my mama gonna let you have it. Cinder rolled her eyes. Truly the gravest threat I have ever seen. We see Diane looking intently at Elizabeth. Diane. You're positive you haven't that kind of relationship with the captain? Elizabeth. I'm not. Meliodas. You know, you and I don't have a relationship like that either. Crow. She got brutally shot down there. Taeyang smirking. You would know about that, wouldn't you? Crow. Fuck off. Rwby. Swear. Diane sadly. Fart. Meliodas. Anyway, I'm just gonna do what I can with Elizabeth to gather the 7 deadly sins. Cues, I want to find 'em too. Diane. Well, if you're sure that's the case, then I'll come along with you guys. You'll have the help of the serpent sin of envy, the giant Diane. Rwby. Yes, we have 2 of the 7 now. Only 5 more to go. Crow. Don't be so positive. There is a lot more that can go wrong. Rwby smugly. Like what, they have 2 sins, there is almost no danger for them. Crow. Indeed for them, we don't know how well the other sins are, if they are even alive. Rwby. Hopefully, they aren't dead. I believe that. Meliodas. Really, that's great. Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us, Lady Diane. Diane. But get this straight. The only reason I'm doing this is, 'cause the captain is with you. Elizabeth nervously laughs at that. Blake. She is pretty lucky to get to Meliodas first. Seeker 3. Oh, thank goodness. Seeker 4. Finally we can live in peace again. Seeker 1. For years she has been threatening us, saying she makes us all pay if we didn't give her shelter. Seekers laughed like they have gone insane. Rwby. I'm beginning to feel sorry for them now. Nora. You do what you do to survive, and don't caught by the government. Winter looks at her suspiciously. Hawk. They can be free now, so beautiful. A raven suddenly made a sound. Elizabeth. What was that, Diane? This is strange. I thought there weren't any animals left to live in this part of the forest. Hawk. Smells like it's gonna rain. Wait, look at that. Everybody looks above and see that a big thunder cloud has gathered above them. Hawk. What is going? Elizabeth. Thunderclouds. A big flash of thunder fell right onto them. When the flash is gone, we see them all locked in lighting, unable to escape. Meliodas. What's up with this? Diane. Captain. Elizabeth. My body has gone completely numb. Hawk. I can't move at all. Nora. I don't have such a weakness. Maniacal laughter. Emerald. Is she always like this? Ren. Just give it some time. Seeker's strange noises. No, really look at it. It's complete, not understandable. We hear someone walking in metal armor. Meliodas. And you are? Gilthunder. It would seem we meet at last. You deadly sins. Crow. God damn it, that dust cloud. Pyrrha. What has the cloud to do with this? Glinda. It gave their location away like a beacon of light in the middle of the night. Diane. This power. Meliodas. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Holy Knight, aren't you? Ironwood. So this is a holy night. Elizabeth. Gilthunder. Gilthunder, is that you? What are you up to? Why are you doing this? Meliodas. You know this guy? Elizabeth. Oh yes. Since I was a little girl. When he was my father's attendant. As the aide to the king, and the son of the Holy Knight's Grandmaster. He was always at the palace. So I kinda grew up with him. We saw a flashback when they were friends growing up. Meliodas. The son of the Grandmaster, huh? Hey, wait a minute, aren't you little Gil? Elizabeth. What, you know him too? Meliodas. Sure, I even gave him lessons occasionally, when I find myself at the royal palace. Wow, you've really grown up. Then again, it has been 10 years since I seen ya. Glinda. He taught the person he is now gonna fight. Quite ironic. Cinder smirking. Hope it doesn't happen to you. Glinda frowns at that. Pyrrha. We would never do that. Cinder. Who knows, we will never know what destiny has in store for us. Salem. That's enough, Cinder. Cinder wants to continue but gives up. Gilthunder. If you have the time to prattle on in this manner, it might be better spent trying to escape those bonds. Hawk. Hey, this lightning is familiar. Meliodas. I know what you mean. When a certain someone blocked up Vanya's water supply, and they tried to blow the village away, that was you, wasn't it? Elizabeth. Sir Meliodas, that can't be. You're wrong. Gilthunder wouldn't. But she stopped talking after seeing the malicious face Gilthunder had now. Elizabeth steps back in shock. No. Yang. I guess she was really shocked, huh? Rwby. Ugh, why Yang, it's a serious moment now. Diane trying to break out now. These can't hold me. Gilthunder. That's useless. The bonds on Diane seemed now even stronger than before. Crow. I'm not liking this. Meliodas. Diane, just save it. Don't bother. Diane. Captain. Gilthunder places his on Meliodas' shoulder next to his neck. Gilthunder. Do you know why the Holy Knights are after the heads of the 7 deadly sins? Ironwood. I'm quite curious about that actually. Meliodas. Not really. Gilthunder. Half of them are seeking revenge and total eradication of the rebel order that plotted to overthrow the kingdom. The other half want to do glorious battle and vengeance the legendary warriors to prove their own strength. Crow. One half mindless order followers, the other half glory seekers. What a fun group. Taiyang. Really, are you making it that simple? Crow. Simple is what I like. Meliodas looks him in the eye. In which half are you in? Gilthunder. Both of them. No. I want more. Meliodas. Is that so? Gilthunder narrowing his eyes. Yes, to avenge the death of my father Zarathustra, Holy Knight's Grandmaster. To show that I'm even greater than he, the most powerful ever known. Killing you will prove that. A flashback happens when a young Gil is by his father's corpse and decides on this decision. Ozpin, if he truly thinks that, there is no way to change his mind. Meliodas, so you're under the impression I'm the one who murdered your father. Is that it? Gilthunder, are you saying you're not? Meliodas, no idea. See, the thing is, I don't actually remember much from back then. Vice, you are supposed to remember killing a guy that important. Diane. Captain. Elizabeth. Sir Meliodas. Meliodas. The last thing I remember is all of us being summoned to the old castle out on the edge of town. 10 years ago. We see a flashback in Aliens which seems a festival is happening. Meliodas. I was hoping to get in a few drinks to celebrate the founding of the kingdom. King Harlequin, which one should I use? You never needed an excuse to knock them back before. Merlin. Sounded like the Grandmaster has something important to discuss. Diane. Maybe he's gonna give us a special reward for handling that business with the Troll Queen. We see a shot of the 7 deadly sins. Most of them have their armor on, except Diane and Meliodas have their helmet off. Meliodas. Well, it's all the same to me. Let's get scolded, then celebrate. Ban. You expect a dressing down. Winter. I would hate to have them under me. They open a big door. Meliodas. Hey, we're here. Grandmaster. But when they come inside, they see the Grandmaster murdered, with a lot of weapons sticking in his dead body. It looked like a war had happened inside this room. Holes filled the wall, craters in the ground and the walls, slashes of swords everywhere. And the Grandmaster was speared in the middle of the room. Team Rwby and JPNP are shocked to see the brutal death of the Grandmaster. Rwby almost even threw up but held it just in. Crow. That's brutal. Taeyang. He at least didn't go out without a fight. Ironwood. This isn't right. They are being framed. Winter. He didn't deserve this. A person who did everything to protect his people does not deserve this. Glinda is just somber. Salem and Ozpin are thinking about why someone would do this. They have seen even more brutal deaths and experienced them. Hazel. Why? What's? His wounds aren't old, this happened recently. Cinder just keeps her smile. Emerald looks at it with a bit of fear and Mercury is curious about the goal of this. Ban. That's brutal. Diane. He's a pincushion. King Harlequin. Who would do this? Merlin. More importantly, why did they target the leader of the Holy Knights? Ban. You're right. The Grandmaster is the linchpin of the kingdom's defense. He is practically a war god. Whoever killed him is a traitor who's plotting to overthrow Lians. Diane sweating a little, and they knew precisely what his loss gonna mean. Taeyang. They already knew back then. Suddenly the man in the green armor, King Harlequin, turned backward and says, I sense something. Meliodas looks out of the window to find every knight in the kingdom surrounding them. Meliodas. Wait, what? We're surrounded by every knight in the kingdom. Diane. There are too many out there to count. What are they planning to? But she was interrupted by the knight attacking them. Ban. Damn, they've started their attack. Meliodas. We'll figure it out. But for now, let's split up. We meet again later. Ban. Understood. The screen suddenly goes black and the words Captain I'm sorry appear on the screen. We see Meliodas looking behind him, but it cut off before we got to see what happened. Ozpin annoyed. Did he get betrayed? Rwby happy. He didn't kill him, they don't have to fight anymore. Back to the present. Meliodas. Those words are the last thing I remember. The rest is just blank. Then the next thing I knew, I was lying down in a cellar somewhere. That's where I met Hawk. Elizabeth. I knew it. You really weren't the ones who killed the Grandmaster, were you? Gilthunder. That makes no difference to me. Rwby. What do you mean? He didn't kill your dad, why would you fight him then? Elizabeth. What are you saying? Gilthunder. Rebels and traitors who plotted to overthrow the kingdom. That's all you people are. Vice. But that's wrong. Winter. Orders are orders, and an order of all the sins has been issued, so he has no choice. Vice. Be you but Winter, that won't do anything good. The military is there corrupt. Winter sighs. We only saw some people of the whole. We can't judge them on the actions of the few. Elizabeth. Enough. You must stop this. Didn't you hear what he just told you? They aren't the ones who murdered him. Don't you understand? Gilthunder looks at her. Elizabeth. The kingdom wants you into protective custody, but I haven't the slightest interest in that. Alive or dead, it's all the same. To me, you are no more than a grain of sand on the road that's being traveled. Gilthunder proceeds then to release Elizabeth of her lightning bonds. Gilthunder, go away. The Sins and I have unfinished business. Rwby, why would he do that? Vice looking at Winter. Yes, the order was to bring her back. He is ignoring the order. Winter, it's a delicate situation. Crow, complicated is the right word, Ice Queen. Winter annoyed, a complicated and delicate situation, happy drunk. Crow smirking, over the world, Ice Queen. Winter, now to go on without a bird interrupting us. The order was to capture her alive and in healthy condition. He is about to battle two legendary knights who are extremely powerful, one even who has been rumored to be capable of destroying entire countries. The battle will cause a lot of damage to the surroundings and people who can't protect themselves. Elizabeth is an untrained princess with no way to protect herself. It is quite possible for her to get wounded or even worse. Rwby, but Meliodas won't let that happen. Winter, Gilthunder does not know this. She is also a great hostage. He would be forced to stop fighting if Meliodas threatens her life. Letting her run away now, and catching her later is a way better option. It's safer for her and him. He won't have to hold back fighting in fear of hurting her. Yang, then why doesn't Meliodas say anything? If he gets Elizabeth, then they can all just walk away without a fight, all will be good. Winter was about to open her mouth to speak again, but Crow cut her off before she could begin. Ice Queen, let me explain this one. Winter, fine Crow, but be aware that any mistakes will be pointed out. Crow waving her off, sure. Looking at Rwby and the rest now, Meliodas doesn't do anything, because he doesn't know to what extent Thunder is willing to take this. Little Gil here has enough motivation to forget Elizabeth, and only focus on Meliodas. Consequences be damned. Gilly, he looks quite ruthless with how he talks and behaves. Maybe he would do it even if she hindrance him just a little. Blake, Meliodas knew Gilthunder before already. Asterisk, her eyes widen when she realized what she said and the implication of them. Crow, that just further proves my point. Meliodas knew him beforehand, and even trained him a little, properly, just as I trained Rwby. When I get home from missions, I would train Rwby. That would be most likely what Meliodas did. What Meliodas most likely thinks that with his motivation he would cut down Elizabeth if it furthers his goal of killing his supposed dad's killer. Dawn. BBB, but Diane could protect her, while Meliodas fights him. Crow shakes his head. Even if he trained him a little when he was younger, it was 10 years ago. He doesn't know his strength now. Little Jill, on the other hand, was trained by Meliodas on his best. He knows how powerful Meliodas is. He seems quite confident to be able to attack two sins together. It's too much of a risk to have her anywhere near the battle. Nora, then what about Hawk? He is in the way too, if that's true. Taeyang sighs. Gilthunder has the cards right now, and he doesn't know Hawk personally. He knew Elizabeth when they were young, plus the order to get her back alive and healthy condition. That's why he wants her away. Hawk doesn't have such protection, I will call it. Hawk might even get him an advantage in the fight against Meliodas. Meliodas maybe doesn't want to get Hawk hurt. Meliodas will hold back because of this. For him, he gets everything by keeping Hawk there. Team Rwby, Nora, and John are surprised by the counterarguments. I way to overanalyze this, but that happens when you rewatch a scene like 15 times over. What do you think about my analysis of the setup of this fight? Elizabeth frowns and goes to try to protect the two sins and proceed to say, I won't let you hurt these people. Pyrrha, she really cares about them. She will even risk her life for them. Ozpin, even if she is brave, she needs to go, she will be only in the way. Rwby, she tries, and maybe she can convince him to stop. Taeyang sighs, no, Rwby. If he truly believes Meliodas killed his father, nothing will stop him. Gilthunder is looking at her and then his attention is caught by Hawk moaning about his pain. Hawk. Oh ow, it's over me. I feel numb like I've been electrocuted. Oh ow. Gilthunder kicks Hawk away into the distance. Nora. No, Hawk. Elizabeth. Hawk, no. She runs after them, leaving the Sins alone with Gilthunder. Glinda sighs of relief. Finally. Rwby wants to say something but knows she will be shut down anyway. Gilthunder. Now that we have dispensed with that interruption. Meliodas. Are you sure about this? In the old days, you were never able to beat me, remember? Gilthunder. But that was a long time ago. Gilthunder looks Meliodas in the eye and says, I'm now more powerful than any of the 7 deadly sins. Yang whistle. That's a way to piss of a leader of a team. Meliodas. I don't know, maybe you're right, but you could be wrong too. Taiyang. You should really learn his self-control, Yang. Yang. I am perfectly capable of handling my anger, Dad. Taiyang. That isn't what I meant, Yang. Gilthunder. Then we should find out. First I'll release your bond. Meliodas. Well, I appreciate that, but I got it. He then easily breaks the bonds placed on him. After that, Diane did the same. Team Rwby and Juniper's eyes when they saw the bonds easily being broken. Meliodas. Could have escaped whenever we felt like it. Gilthunder. Just know if I felt like it, I could annihilate instantly. Glinda. How about stop measuring D? Ozpin. Glinda. Glinda. Well, they're Ozpin. Meliodas. Him? Kinda doubt that. Gilthunder. I shall use my sword to kill you. Meliodas. Then right back at ya, big guy. Don't interfere. All right, Diane. Vice. What's he doing? Why would he give up his advantage? Crow thinking. The only reason why he would do something like this is because he is planning for something. But what could it be? Diane. Ah, you get all the fun. Gilthunder. Don't want my defeating you both at once. Salem. That pridefulness of his is gonna cost him. He stands in a form ready to strike, but Meliodas sets his foot behind his and says, can't you know when your elders are trying to be nice? Taiyang. They never know. Yang. What's that supposed to mean? My first real fight scene, wish me luck, smiley face. Closing parenthesis. For a second they look at each other in complete silence. Gilthunder summons lightning around his sword and strikes down at Meliodas, shattering the ground around him. Gilthunder's face looks shocked when Meliodas appears unharmed in front of him, ready to strike. But before Meliodas hit Gilthunder, he flashed away in lightning. Meliodas. Like I said, right back at ya, remember that? Gilthunder. And I told you, you'll be dead. Gilthunder was in Meliodas' back, ready to strike his head off. But before his sword hit, Meliodas did half a flip in the sky, fuck physics I guess, and blocks his sword with his own. Meliodas is again standing on the ground. Gilthunder. Come on. Gilthunder strikes again, but Meliodas flips back and dodges the strike. Jumping backward is Meliodas, but Gilthunder is right in front of him, attacking with lightning. The first bolt Meliodas blocks, the second dodged by a hair. Meliodas jumps on a rock and has now the high ground. Standing like nothing happened, but Gilthunder standing ready to strike any moment. Meliodas. Gotta admit, you've really improved over the years. Gilthunder. Yet you still believe that you're superior to me. Glinda sighs of frustration. They always think like that. Gilthunder jumps at Meliodas, trying to slash with his sword at him. Meliodas blocks this attack with his sword and lightning bounces off their swords. Their power cracks the very rock Meliodas is standing on. Gilthunder. I can sense it. You're beginning to feel a little fear creeping in. Meliodas still smiling. Am I? Yang. Mate, he doesn't even have a proper sword. His is broken. Rwby. And that should be fixed very soon. After Meliodas says that the rock he was standing on broke apart and he fell. A dust cloud appears, but it's instantly gone when Meliodas and Gilthunder jump into the air. Just before they strike at each other, they look into each other's eyes. When they move faster than the eye can see, we see after images of when their sword clashes each time sparks spring from their swords, but no more. Gilthunder slashes him down to the ground, but Meliodas quickly gets his footing again. Rwby downcast. I couldn't see them, they were faster than me. Meliodas, well, you're persistent. Ironwood, they never give up, do they? Gilthunder doesn't respond but slashes at Meliodas with a wide arc of lightning. A smokescreen appears, and Gilthunder jumps back before Meliodas gets the chance to attack him. Meliodas is surprised by this. Gilthunder throws a lightning bolt at Meliodas. Meliodas blocks it but is wide open in the progress. Taking this opportunity, Gilthunder attacks with full power and slashes Meliodas upwards. Meliodas is sent flying into the sky with lightning coursing his body. Meliodas had his eyes closed when he went flying, but when he opened it in the sky he sees Gilthunder ready to strike another time. Gilthunder, too slow. The lighting makes the screen go white. When the whiteness is gone, we see Elizabeth stumbling because the ground shook. She looks back and sees nothing and says, "Sir Meliodas. Glinda, don't you dare come back. You'll just make it worse." We cut to see Meliodas enter the ground, a crater formed to make room for his body in the ground. Meliodas. Or Ozpin. There's no wound. Meliodas slowly opened his eyes and laughs a little with a smile. Standing up, Meliodas says, "I can't believe it, you've gotten this powerful." Gilthunder, don't worry. We see Gilthunder ready to finish this fight once for all. Gilthunder, I'll bring the others down with you soon enough. Gilthunder slashes Meliodas in the back, drawing blood. We see Meliodas slowly falling to the ground from the force of the blow. Rwby. No. Meliodas. Diane. Captain. Rwby, what are you doing? Help him. Gilthunder proceeds to stand next to Meliodas saying, "Meliodas, the 7 deadly sins. Dragon's sin of wrath. Do you have last words?" Meliodas weakly, "The sins, what happened to them? You must have heard something, right? Where have the others gone?" Ozpin, so that's your plan. Gilthunder sheathing his sword, "Very well, I'll tell you. Of the remaining 5, 3 are still at large and are yet not accounted for. But the other 2 have been dealt with. The fox sin of greed is being kept under tight security at based prison. The grisly sin of sloth has already been slain and is interred in the necropolis. But you needn't worry, I will make certain they all join you shortly." Rwby's eyes widen, mutters sadly, "So sloth is already dead, huh?" Meliodas closing his eyes, "Thank you." Opening his eyes full of energy, springing up again and said, "Awesome, little Gil." Rwby, "What? Stop tricking me." Crow, "Nope." Taeyang, "Too much fun." Yang, "Yeah, sis, kinda deal with it." Rwby, "I hate you guys." Gilthunder just looks at him frowning. Nora, "Oh, he's not happy with that." _7470 words. That is the longest chapter yet, I think. Shrugs, doesn't matter. I hoped you liked this chapter. Just finished, so will take a day before I will post this. Now some reviews are to be answered. Guest from January 5th. I would like more context from this. If you think my grammar sucks, tell me what I did wrong, so that I can improve on that. War Machine 375, longest review yet. I loved reading your review and even gave me some ideas. Now I didn't let Rwby comment about Gilthunder's armor or weapon, they look like a standard set, just a little richer. And of course, thank you for the fave and follow. Hope I don't disappoint you. Boss, thank you. I hope you will continue to read this as time goes on. Greer 123, it's a little late, but Happy New Year to you too. And thank all of you who also voted for the future of this fic. It was an important decision that decided the future of this fic, even if you didn't work.